Welcome to Sacred Caregiving. My name is Barbara, and first of all, allow me to apologize. I know I have been MIA for quite some time from the community. I have been dealing with my own health issues, and that has been taking a lot of time, away from my being able to shoot video. But I wanted to come on here real quick and just talk about something that actually came up for me today. And it's that if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. Example of how this manifested today was one of the things that I have been dealing with my own health is I have been diagnosed with HS, hyperactivia sensitiva, which is basically, number one, what they call a comorbidity. So it's a disease that happens because you have another disease that triggers it. In my case, I actually have not one, not two, but 3 comorbidities that can trigger it. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Actually 4, because there's also obesity. But basically what this disease is, it's an autoimmune disease, and it's that it manifests itself as large painful lumps under folds of skin that track through the lymphatic system. And they put you on medication for it to treat the, short term, to get the lumps to shrink and go bye-bye, until the next time that you basically have a flare. So, sorry if you see my hand kind of waving in front of the camera. That's the arm that I have the HS under, so a lot of times I just have to kind of move my hand. So, but basically, one of the tests that they do for the HS is they do an ultrasound and they do a diagnostic mammogram. Now, those of you who have had mammograms, you get the boobs squished till they're almost flat as a pancake, or at least as flat as a pancake as they can get. So, it's uncomfortable at the best of times. Now, imagine that you already have lumps and bumps and things that are already painful, that make it painful for you to move your arm, that make it feel like you've been punched in the boob. Do that, and then go and tell somebody, okay, you not only have to lift your arm, but we're also going to squish the boob and do all of the things. And I was like, okay, I'm already, and with mammograms, you can't have anything, any kind of ointment or anything on your boob or your underarm, which means that basically the lidocaine cream that I've been using for underneath my arm and my boob is part of the treatment that the doctor prescribed, is not going to fly tomorrow. And yes, I can take Tylenol, which I've been doing, but I also know that by the time I get done with all of these things, chances are I'm going to be in a lot of pain. So I called my primary today, left a message, finally got back to me, and he said, yes, I'll call in Pain Med, because I asked for, Not like a whole big long thing of pain meds or anything. And I made that very clear to him. It's like, I'm not asking for like a whole new prescription of like pain meds. I said, I'm asking for like a couple of days worth of pain meds, just so that either I can take it prophylactically, meaning I can take it beforehand with the testing, or I can take it afterwards so that I'm not like doubled over in excruciating pain. And I said, I only want like a couple of days. I said, I'm not looking for a big thing, whatever. So he called me and he's like, yes. And he mentioned like sending me to a dermatologist. And I said, well, did you get the information that I gave to your office nurse like about a month ago about the dermatologist that I want to see, that is in my network for my insurance, and that is at the Oklahoma Cancer Science and Research Institute? Now, for the record, no, I don't think this is, cancer. I also know that, there is family history. You guys know mom died stage 4 breast cancer. OCSRI, Oklahoma Cancer Science and Research Institute, was the one who did my hysterectomy back in 2019. So they know some of my history. So I was like, let's go ahead and nip this in the bud. Let's get somebody who specializes in like skin cancer, because at the time I didn't know that this was HS. I just knew I had a lump underneath my armpit. That was painful. Now I have several lumps under my armpit and my boob that are painful. So, but if I had not called my primary care provider and specifically asked, number one, for the pain med, and number two, had he gotten the information, then, number one, I'd basically still be in limbo and in excruciating pain while I was in limbo. So, as my stepmom Linda is always fond of saying, it doesn't hurt to ask. The answer can always be no. And that's okay. And basically, you're no better or worse off than you were before. So, yeah, I mean, it never hurts to ask. It never hurts to follow up and see, because it turned out that my primary had never gotten the note about the dermatologist. It was in a communication note in my record, but that communication note somehow never got relayed from the nurse to him. The reason being is that they had a turnover, and that particular person left and somebody else came in. So he didn't know about it until he brought up tonight the thing of like, I think I need to send you to a dermatologist. And I said, I already have one that I had in mind. So I said, boom, and he's like, okay. He's like, yeah, I see the note now. He's just like, I'll go ahead and refer you. I said, thank you. So that's where we're at, and I will keep you advised. But as I said, it never hurts to ask, and I will attempt to be posting more videos just to keep everybody, informed, and if there's something that I'm going through that I think would be useful to you, then I will post it here. In the meantime, thank you for being a caregiver. It truly is sacred work, even when the person you're caring for is yourself.